Hey guys, I wish we could be together, but we can't. So I thought I'd try this. I have uploaded a PDF of Hey Nostradamus onto the topics section of the webpage for you to access. You could read along with me or read by yourself if you don't like to hear me read. Some of you didn't pick up the book. If you picked up the book, you can read along with me on the book. But I thought we'd read a little bit each day, see if that worked. Give it a try. All right, so it's called Hey Nostradamus by Douglas Coupland. I hope you all looked at the video on the Columbine massacre, the school shooting, which unfortunately is all too common these days. I mean, when it happened in 1999, nobody did school shootings. We were all staring with our jaws open, um, befuddled, watching the news, thinking, a school shooting? Who shoots up schools? Now it's every day. There's a school shooting, and we go, yeah, another day in America. But at the time, it was unprecedented. And a lot of what Coupland puts in the book is based on things that happened at Columbine. Cheryl is based on Rachel Scott, which you learned about in the documentary. If you didn't look at it yet, please go look at it first. And you'll notice some of the similarities when you watch documentary and then we read. You'll see, oh, I see some connections. So, in fact, the book was delayed in getting published because of the grief and sadness, that's still around after Columbine. All right, so hey Nostradamus, I'll read a little bit today. The beginning opens with scripture that is, kind of hits at the theme of some of the characters in the book. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we shall be changed. 1 Corinthians 15:51 and 52. All right. So the book is set up into 4 different chapters. Now, it starts off after the school shooting, right? Cheryl, the first character, is dead. She's not living anymore, but she's not moved on to wherever she's going yet. She's kind of caught in betwixt and in between, right? So we're going to hear Cheryl's perspective. You see, it's 1988 is when the shooting takes place. So all of Cheryl's chapter is Cheryl talking about herself and what happened in the school shooting, what was going on in her life with Jason and her family, the prayers she's hearing now, wherever she is, her perspective as an 18-year-old who's just been killed. Right? And then we're going to jump to 11 years later and read Jason's chapter. So it's Jason telling the story. Again, about what happened at the shooting, so we get more details, fill in some gaps. But it's him 11 years later looking back on what happened as opposed to right in the middle of it. And then we have Heather and Reg, you'll see. Lots of characters. But so it's 4 different perspectives of one incident and then life after the incident. All right. Really good, really good. I think we're going to enjoy it. I love this book. And I seriously say that every year, now maybe different online and you're reading it yourself, or unfortunately with this, what's going on. But every year, this is the one book that we read that everybody loves. People come to me and go, hey, Mr. We're reading today, right? Of course we're reading. I know people like it. So, all right. This is Cheryl's chapter. I believe that what separates humanity from everything else in this world, spaghetti, binder paper, deep sea creatures, Edelweiss, and Mount McKinley, is that humanity alone has the capacity at any given moment to commit all possible sins. Even those of us who try to live a good and true life remain as far away from grace as the hillside strangler or any demon who ever tried to poison the village well. What happened that morning only confirms this. It was a glorious fall morning. The sun burned a girly pink over the mountain ranges to the west, and the city had yet to generate its daily smog blanket. Before driving to school in my little white Chevette, I went into the living room and used my father's telescope to look down at the harbor. As smooth as mercury, and on its surface I could see the moon dimming over East Vancouver. And then I looked up into the real sky and saw the moon on the cusp of being overpowered by the sun. My parents had already gone to work, and my brother Chris had left for swim team hours before. The house was quiet, not even a clock ticking. And as I opened the front door, I looked back and saw some gloves and unopened letters on the front hallway desk. Beyond them, on the living room's gold carpet, were some discount warehouse sofas and a lamp on a side table that we never used because the light bulb always popped when we switched it on. It was lovely, all that silence and all that calm order, and I thought how lucky I was to have a good home. And then I turned and walked outside. I was already a bit late, but I was in no hurry. Normally I use the garage door, but today I wanted a touch of formality. I thought that this morning would be my last truly innocent glance at my childhood home, not because of what really ended up happening, but because of another, smaller drama that was supposed to have unfolded. I'm glad that the day was as quiet and average as it was. The air was sea your breath chilly, and the front lawn was crunchy with frost as though each blade had been batter fried. The brilliant blue and black Stellar's jays were raucous and clearly up to no good on the eaves trough, and because of the frost, the leaves in the Japanese maples had been converted into stained glass shards. The world was unbearably pretty, and it continued being so all the way down the mountain to school. I felt slightly high because of the beauty, and the inside of my head tickled. I wondered if this is how artists go through life, with all of its sensations tickling their craniums like a peacock feather. I was the last to park in the school's lot. That's always such an uneasy feeling, no matter how together you think you are, being the last person there, wherever there may be. I was carrying 4 large binders and some textbooks, and when I tried shutting the Chevette's door, it wouldn't close properly. I tried slamming it with my hip, but that didn't work. It only made the book spray all over the pavement. But I didn't get upset. Inside the school, classes were already in session, and the hallways were as silent as the inside of my house, and I thought to myself, what a day for silence. I needed to go to my locker before class, and I was working my combination lock. Jason came up from behind. Boo! Jason, don't do that. Why aren't you in class? I saw you parking, so I left. You just walked out? Forget about that, Miss Priss. Why are you being so weird on the phone last night? I was being weird? Jesus, Cheryl, don't act like your airhead friends. Anything else? Yes, you're my wife, so act like it. How should I be acting then? Cheryl, look, in God's eyes, we're not 2 individuals, okay? We're one unit now. So if you dick around with me, then you're only dicking around with yourself. And Jason was right. We were married, had been for about 6 weeks at that point, but we were the only ones who knew it. So this is our first big secret that we hear. A couple of secrets in this chapter that other folks don't know. And one of them is that Jason and Cheryl are married. Everyone thinks they're boyfriend and girlfriend, but they're seniors in high school. Yeah, that's early. Imagine being married right now. But they're seniors in high school and they got married. We'll find out how that all happened and why and whatnot. But so she had big news to tell him. You might be able to figure out what that is. And they're married. Okay. I was late for school because I'd wanted everyone out of the house before I used a home pregnancy test. There it is. I was quite calm about it. I was a married woman and shame wasn't a factor. My period was 3 weeks late and facts were facts. Instead of the downstairs bathroom I shared with my brother, I used the guest bathroom upstairs. The guest bathroom felt one notch more medical, one notch less tinged by personal history, less accusatory, to be honest. And the olive fixtures and foil wallpaper patterned with brown bamboo looked swampy and dank when compared to the Test Scientific white and blue box. And there's not much more to say, except that 15 minutes later, I was officially pregnant, and I was late for math class. Jesus, Cheryl. Jason, don't curse. You can swear, but don't curse. Pregnant? I was quiet. You're sure? I'm late for math class. Aren't you even happy? A student walked by and maybe en route to see the principal. Jason squinted like he had dust in his eyes. Yeah, well, of course. Sure I am. I said, let's talk about it at a homeroom break. I can't. I'm helping coach do setup for the junior A team. I promised him ages ago. Lunchtime then, in the cafeteria. I kissed him on his forehead. It was soft like antlers I'd once touched on a petting zoo buck. Okay, I'll see you there. He kissed me in return, and I went to math class. All right, gonna stop for there just for a minute. Let's try this first video, see if it works. If it does, I'll put more up and I'll continue to do this and I'll let you know via on web messaging kind of thing. No, on the assignments tab. All right, guys, please stay healthy. Know I care about you. I love you. I hope you and your families are doing well. And maybe we'll see each other again before the year's over. All right, bye.